Welcome to the Freedom Culture. All right. Here at the Freedom Culture, I'd like to discuss current events in the financial sector, breaking down this new digital economy and blockchain technology, and also practical solutions to the new challenges that we're coming across. I'm still in Saigon, in Ho Chi Minh City, in Vietnam. Really enjoying myself out here. Like I said in my previous video, I came out here to get a little mental clarity from the chaos that's going on back at home. And I encourage others to do the same, prioritize mental clarity. And I'm also here to celebrate a really good friend of mine's wedding, which was absolutely beautiful. So I just wanted to quickly touch bases on what's going on currently in the financial sector really quickly so I could get back to enjoying my break. So as you know, the SVB situation is the cause to the effects that's to come. It's the tip of the iceberg. All confidence is depleted right now.
I mean, even before this, I'd say a week or two ago, we were telling people, look, everything looks worse than it did 3 months ago, right? Valuation, speculation, interest rates, earnings expectations, all that cocktail. You throw in here lack of confidence. I think it's a problem. I think everyone I know and I've talked to over the last 5 days, kind of nonstop, is moving deposits out of any bank they're worried about to one of the big 3 or 4. Find out a month or two from now that one of the banks you're with isn't in business, you're kind of a chucklehead. You didn't move into something safer, aren't you?
What is that, a sample of 2 people who are moving money out of a smaller bank?
Probably about 100.
You say whether there will be other regional bank failures.
Well, look, let me just say that we want to make sure that the tools that exist at one bank don't create contagion to others that are sound, and a goal always of supervision and regulation is to make sure that contagion can't occur.
People since the middle of last week have been thinking about their balances and where they should move them and what bank's safe and what's not.
So, as I said before, this is going to cause a lot of contagion. A lot of people are, this is a bank run. A lot of people are taking money out of the banks, and where does it go? It's going to go to a more larger bank.
Not the only one, Bill. There are people withdrawing their money from regional banks around the country and plowing them into what? JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citibank. Those mega banks are, we all know they're too big to fail, and all the lesser banks now have to try and keep the confidence of their depositors.
As a servant to the many amazing people who make up our one Queensland community, I note that in the last few weeks we have seen with the failure of Silvergate and Silicon Valley banks what is in aggregate the largest banking collapse in US history. It would be wrong to not take this opportunity to revisit the issue of how to save a failing bank. As a reminder, there are 2 choices. Bailing out with a large injection of taxpayer money, increasing debt for everyone. Or 2, bailing in, which is where the bank takes their depositors' money to save themselves. A bail-in still requires the bank to close for days or weeks, preventing customers accessing any money left in their accounts. Business will be left without money to pay staff or suppliers. The effect on the economy will be catastrophic. This is relevant, again, because President Biden initially chose to seize half of Silicon Valley Bank depositors' funds and freeze the rest for up to 3 years. That's a bail-in. What followed was a run on all banks, forcing the president to backflip and instead initiate a bailout. Australia has a bank guarantee scheme, a bailout, but it's a con trick. There's no funding, no requirement to use it. It only covers $20 billion per bank, $80 billion total, and this is supposed to protect $1 trillion in depositors' funds, 8%.
Solution must happen. We're in a liquidity crisis, so we need liquidity. There's a demand for liquidity, and how do we get liquidity? The technology, the blockchain technology, or the FedNow system that's being applied, that's about to be rolled out.
The world today looks very different than it did a decade ago. Smartphones and high-speed internet access have changed how quickly we expect to pay for the things we need. There are all services that let people make payments that seem instant, but many of these services provide funds to the user before the funds settle between banks. This lag in final settlement creates a buildup of interbank obligations. What's needed is a payment system designed for the real-time nature of instant payments, one that can scale as demand for these new payments grows.
Today, businesses and consumers want to send and receive money in seconds, also known as instant payments. The payments industry is working quickly to meet this demand, but the solutions aren't without growing pains. So the time for modernizing our nation's payment system is now.
That's why the Federal Reserve's work is progressing rapidly for the FedNow service, a new infrastructure for instant payments. The FedNow service is designed to exist alongside private sector options, fulfilling the Federal Reserve's historical role of promoting market competition and providing nationwide reach for payment services. And financial institutions of all sizes could remain competitive by providing access to instant payment services.
So, yeah, I'm just like really trying my best to like rush out this video. Sorry, it's been rushed, but like Jerome Powell has mentioned, that there will be a lot more pain into the economy in the fight to drop rates down to 2%. And it's looking more difficult for them to do so.
While higher interest rates, slower growth, and softer labor market conditions will bring down inflation, they will also bring some pain to households and businesses. These are the unfortunate costs of reducing inflation.
Yeah, so to me, this is the black swan event that was necessary for them to roll out the new financial system. It seems like a surprise, but really and truly everything is calculated. They've been planning on this for a while, and those that has been the early adopters or the early ones that has been aware are actually prepared for this. And my goal is actually to reach out to as many individuals as possible to be more aware and what's happening. You already know what's going on. Freedom culture, that's what I do here.
See generational wealth. That's what's at stake today, John, because we're just moments away from what I believe will be the biggest crypto event of this decade. And we only have one shot here, because I'm not talking about a Bitcoin halving that happens every 4 years. I mean, if you miss a Bitcoin halving, it's not great, but at least 4 years later, you get another shot at it. I'm talking about an event that will only happen one time.
And it's looking like we're approaching that moment more and more. Right now, the faith with the dollar is dropping. You got Mexico is joining the BRICS. You got Kenya is talking high about the dollar.
México es un país independiente y libre, no una colonia ni un protectorado de Estados Unidos. Pero jamás permitiremos que violen nuestra soberanía y pisoteen la dignidad de nuestra patria. ¡Viva México!
The people who work numbers, I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do, because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks.
You know, I don't think this is the time to take the USD for granted. FedNow service is set to be released in July, and once that news dropped, the ISO 222 cryptocurrency market actually has some price appreciation. So with this FedNow service, to me, I feel like could be compared to XLM. In my opinion, I feel like XLM is a decentralized version of the FedNow payment system. So along with the FedNow payment service, which is a centralized American solution for this, for faster real-time payments, it's going to be the need for ISO 222 compliant cryptocurrencies. I say that because of it doesn't have any international cross-border functionality. You know what I'm saying? It's only for the US. So there's gonna have to be some type of functionality, some type of technology to cover the cross-border transactions internationally. And that would be, in my opinion, the XRP, because XRP is currently getting the clarity.
So hard for us to say that can participate in our banking system. If I decide that XRP is a security, why won't we let it list on a US exchange? The problem is we treat crypto assets differently from all other assets. And the answer is just recognize them for what they are. These are assets that represent some underlying activity. It could be a network, it could be an application. They have a value that people are willing to buy and sell at. Let them in.
It's already ISO 222 compliant, so it's kind of like a no-brainer that this is going to be the thing that's necessary to implement into the FedNow service. So basically, to sum things up, I feel like the Federal Reserve is just going to raise the debt ceiling, print more money, and switch things into more digital to have more control to make this crisis more sustainable. They're going to print more money, they're going to raise the debt ceiling, it's going to cause more debt, and they're going to print more money, and they're going to switch it to digital, so that way they don't actually have to print more money. It's just going to be digital, and in form of real-time payments, and it's going to be in CBDCs, and that's just how things is going to work out for them to have more control of how things is turning out right now. But it's gonna be the greatest time in history for those that's already aware of what's going on. As you can see, there's a lot of price appreciation. It's gonna be a devastating time for those that's not, and then that's my concern. But nothing I say is financial advice. Do your own research, like my shirt. Eat your greens and do your research, every day. Take care of yourself and bless up. And sorry I had to butcher this whole video out. I just want to hurry up and get to the rest of my vacay. But it's a lot of things going on that I feel like I got to cover and get out to you guys. And I appreciate you for watching. Stay in tune with me and on the Freedom Culture. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Try not to get swallowed by locusts. Trying to stay focused, kinda like Moses. Like somebody chose.